Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video I'm going to be doing a spray painting video. A couple of people asked how I did my Pencott camo on the SSG, so I thought I've got a new gun which has been crudely painted by somebody else, so I shall go through and show you how I do it. So paint that I've got, everything I've got is off Amazon. All of this stuff, I've got some sponges and just, you know, some stuff off of Amazon. So I'm using Painter's Touch Rust-Oleum in Espresso satin finish. That's going to be my base coat, and then for the actual Pencott I've got two acrylic paints, one in avocado and one in spring green. Now you probably want to get maybe some like a bit darker colours, because for mine it's a bit light, but I'm not really too bothered. It's what I've got and you barely use any, so if you get the smallest possible pots you'll be fine, because as I say, you really don't use much. And then these are just two car sponges that I just rip up and get a little bit off, because it's got the nice colour on there, so you can just dab it on. So, and then also for the top I use Rust-Oleum clear coat with a matte finish, and just put as many as them on as see fit, really. So yeah, that is how I do it. So what I'm going to do is let's get this done. So I apologise if you can hear a lot of noise in the background. I'm outside, so I'm also going to be doing the mags as well, because they're in a tan colour, and then the mag that actually comes with the gun is got a bit of paint on it, so I'm just going to go over it all, do it all again. So very nice fresh colour. So yeah, just give it a once over. There's no real special way to do it. You just cover it, make sure you don't blob it in one place, and yeah, just go over it and then turn it over, do it, and anyway, you'll let you watch. Now, if you really want to, you probably could base coat this. I mean, not base coat it. You could, you know, tape off certain areas and then also prime it, you know, by sanding it and stuff like that. But for me, I'm really not bothered by this, just because this gun was very cheap. And it's going to be my DMR, hopefully. To say, I picked up this gun for, it's a G&G 308 WH model. Now the stock I'm not really too bothered about, because I'm going to take that off anyway, because it only fits in 9.6 NIM batteries instead of LiPos, so oh, do you know what, I'll do it anyway, just in case I ever. Okay, no, it doesn't really matter too much about getting in all of these little cracks and crevices just yet, because I'm going to go over it again, give it 2 coats of this. Want to make sure that all of that shitty paint is covered. I think it should be good. So now let's move on to the mags. Now to prep the mags, I've just literally taped off the, because these are high caps, just taped off the scroll wheel at the bottom and then covered the top, just so I don't get any paint in there. Just as another little addition, make sure that you tape off the top part of your mags that goes into the gun, otherwise you'll have to scrape off all the paint, and I'm not speaking from experience at all. In like a tan kind of colour, which wasn't very nice. I may as well get that bottom bit. I think that should do for a base coat. we will let that dry. Alright, for some weird reason the audio didn't actually record this clip. I've got no idea why. I must have been pissing about with the buttons. But all I'm basically saying is that I've done the 2 coats of brown on this side. So now I'm getting ready to turn it over. I noticed that I didn't mention in the last clip was I put some sponge in the end of the suppressor just so I could spray the end of the suppressor without getting it inside and, you know, drying it all out and messing it up. But yeah, so 2 coats of brown on this side, 2 coats on the magazines as well, and then now I'm just flipping it over and preparing to do the other side. Exactly the same thing. You can see the difference, like that green to just the brown alone looks way better. But yeah, so 2 coats of this brown, same procedure, spray it all over, and yeah. Right, so we are done with the paint of this now, both sides. So what we're going to do, just flip it back over. Now these little bits where it's been sat on the cardboard are fine because you can just blob over them with the others. What I also did as well was move the selector switch and then painted underneath it. So yeah, it just looks a lot better than having when you put it on semi you'll have like a patch where it's got no paint, so it's fine. Now what we're going to do is get our 2 colours. Now what I'm going to start with is the lighter, I think. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, but I think I'm just going to start with the lighter one. And then, actually no, start with the dark one. So we'll go with the spring green. Little blob down there. Doesn't really matter how much because, as I say, you barely use any. So I'm going to get where it's nice and perforated on these spoons. Sorry about the noise. Okay. Yeah, let's use this side. So just blob it in and then just simply whack it on. Doesn't really matter what you do. So you just you'll probably want to put like a blob, say a blob like that, and then around it just like dab, just so it sort of, you know, like speckles out. And then you just do that all over. So I'll do a few now so you can see, and then we'll see how we get on. I'll probably need more paint. I've just said you don't use much paint, but anyway. Yeah, let's just go for it. Okay. Okay, if you like ones, just place. Like that. If you like ones, you can just pop around. Okay, like so. Now that gets split, also really doing that one. You kind of just want to make sure you fill all of the gaps. You will do that with the other colour as well, but as I say, it's good doing this because by the time that you've gone around and done 1 coat of it, you can pretty much go over with the other colour and just, you know, carry on as you need to. But even if you mess up, you can go back over it, either spray it again or, you know, use the other paint, so it's not really too much of an issue. And also you can just, you know, pick any random colour that you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Just do it, go mad with random colours. Because again, show gun, doesn't really matter. This doesn't really camouflage your gun any, I'm just doing it because, why not? So I'll let that, oh actually I need to do the mags. But yeah, that's all I'm doing with it, just going over like that. I'm going to do the mags and then, yeah, I'll come back in a bit. Okay, so now you've done your base of green on everything, what you want to do is get your other colour, whichever it is. Even if you just want to stick with the 1 colour, then fair enough, you're done. Just go over and base coat it. But if you're doing another colour, you kind of want to do what you've just done, but also on top of the other one. So you kind of, it's really hard to explain. So you kind of just, so where you've just done your big splotches, you kind of just merge them and then just cover all over and just, you know, keep doing like big thick splotches and then fan them out, and then it gets this Pencott sort of camo. which I just find really cool. So yeah, just kind of go over it where you've already been, and then also in the brown spaces in between, and yeah, just really cool. I think. Any colours, you can use the same too. You put the take over it and put around shape around the off and stuff. So now I'm just doing this way. I think it's pretty cool. Especially when you just yellow over it. I feel that just adds a lot to it. So we'll just keep going around here. Again, this is not because it's probably never a different one. Okay, let's just have a look at this. Nice little speckles. And there we go. So that's pretty much the gun done so far. I don't really like sort of some of the bits on this bit, so I might go over it again with the darker green, because I really like this fine speckle, you know. So go over it with the darker green again, wherever it is. Because it is acrylics, as I say, the acrylic paint dries really quickly, so it is just nice. Because you can just crack on and just go over what you've just done. Yeah, I think that looks better. Sort of. Now I'm mixing colours. Ooh. But yeah, you can see where I'm going with it. So I'll crack on and do the magazines, and then flip it over, do the other side, and then I'll come back and show you the results, and then we'll get on to actually clear coating it. So yeah. Okay, so this side came up much better in my eyes. Looking at it, it just seems way nicer. Try and get a better lighting on it. But yeah, to do this I had to let the paint dry a bit and then just speckle it on onto the sponge, just so there's like very minimal paint. Even the mags, they look pretty nice. So yeah, what we need to do, just give that a little spritz, just to tone that down a bit. But now I think we are ready to get, that's fine, clear coating. Again, the clear coat is no different. Now this is just put it on everywhere and do about 2 or 3 different coats of it. So yeah, put as much in as you want, because it just protects it and stops it from rubbing off as soon as you get onto the field. So I end up putting like 2, 3, 4 coats on, and yeah, I'll come back once it's all done and you can see the final result.